I think Nintendo have finally lost their damn minds. Some would argue that, yeah, they've been lost their mind with the decisions that they've been making over the past few years. I would say this time, man, they've been smoking on hay in the middle of the barn. And yes, that's an actual song. What is going on, everybody? It's me, the Elite Ace. We are live action. You already know what it is. Here to bring you my thoughts regarding the Switch 2, the recent showcase that Nintendo put out. Now, I'm glad I waited because there's one major thing that I am going to clear up later in this video. So let's start out with the good, all right? Because there's some good and bad. There's a lot of bad, but we're going to start out with the good. So, the good. Finally, 4K. The Switch 2 can do 4K. Let's clap up for Nintendo. They are finally here in 4K in 2025. 4K 120 FPS at that TV mode, and I think with selected titles. But also 1080p handheld mode. What else? Everything has been improved. All the specs, all the nice bells and whistles. However, that battery hit, that battery life. Yeah, the battery life took a hit. I'm going to put up a side-by-side comparison of all the specs, and the qualities and features for the Switch 1 and the Switch 2. And that is crazy, man. But I'm not really tripping off of that, and I'm going to tell you why. See, when I first got the Switch, 8,000 years ago, I remember I did the unboxing. Some of you remember that video. I rarely use it in handheld mode. The last time I actually used my Switch in handheld mode, it was a few months ago when I went to visit my parents out of state. And then before that was when I went to Japan. Other than that, I think the first time I used it, I was doing it to test it out. Maybe laying in bed just a little bit, or, in the bathroom, but other than that, never. I keep my Switch in my living room, I rarely ever use it in handheld mode. But other than that, we see it has the new camera, and it's like this whole Nintendo Discord, group chat type thing. It feels like they're late to that. It's like, damn, they're just now catching up. But what's cool about it is that even though without all that 4K stuff, the flashy stuff, the camera, people were still buying these Nintendo games and Nintendo consoles and having fun with it. Also, the game share. Last time that was a feature, I think it was on one of the Nintendo 3DS. But that is a cool feature. And just imagine if that can be done with all games. All games. Just one person say, hey, y'all don't got Smash? That's cool. Whatever. We can all share Smash. I don't know how that'll work though, really, because the connection for that, have to be very stable. Especially like with the game share on PlayStation. You gotta have a strong ass connection for that. But anyway, I think that's cool, nice new feature. But back to that camera, though. That camera, the quality on there, man, damn. Because I do remember the Wii U, it had a camera on the top of the controller. Man, the quality, man, on this Switch camera. It's not 4K, it's not 1080p, it just looks 10p. I swear, I'm like, ooh, that just looks very choppy. It looks like something from Windows 95. But at least they didn't lie. They could have jazzed it up for the presentation. They could have made it look like it was 4K. Then you get the damn thing and be like, oh, this ain't it. This is not what they showed on the presentation. So at least they kept it real. And let's be honest. While it is a nice feature, you're going to be locked in most of the time on the games you're playing. You may glance and see what they're doing at a load screen, or that you may hear somebody say, hey, look, I finally unlocked this, or look at this level. And then you may look, that's cool. But one thing it can be fun with is the new Smash Brothers. Can you imagine you see the little icon bubbles over the characters, but it's showing our face real time? But it'll make it more cluttered. Yeah, that'd be like an extra distraction, unless they have it in the corners or next to the character icons and the stock numbers, or instead of character icons, it'll be your face. That'd be cool, but how much are you really going to pay attention to your opponent's face while you're fighting them? Unless you're just that good. Once you knock them off or send them flying, you can look down and see their reaction. Overall, I think it'd be cool. It's cool for party games as they displayed it with the new Mario. I don't know if it's a new Mario Party or if that's the old Mario Party when they were like cutting the stakes. But anyway, I do like that feature. Now, again, this was an overall good presentation. This Direct was good. And the games, I actually felt glad for the people who are only solo dolo Nintendo or Switch. Even though some would say that's rough. Just only having a Switch, no PC, no PlayStation, no Xbox. But hey, some could say, hey, it can be done. You can have fun with it. You have the virtual console. You can play the Sega title, Super Nintendo, NES, Now they introduced GameCube. Speaking of which, that's another good thing. The GameCube, they show Soul Calibur 2, and I have Soul Calibur 2 right here. Bam. Yes. Right here. The Japanese version. Right here. And, man, this ain't Namco at the top. This is how you know. And I remember when it comes on, Namco. You know, it says just like that. Back when games came with manuals. You know, I still have the memory card. Look at that. This how you know it's straight up Japanese. I'm trying to pull it out. I have to see that plastic thing right here. You have to pull it up. And I don't want to. I'm not turning this into an unboxing, but look at this. Oh, that look, man, this is all type of classic stuff. Game manual in color, everything showing you the controls, story, lore. There go Tyler and Raphael. Well, they just don't make them like they used to. But anyway, it was cool to see that, even though I still have it. Even though there's no way I'll be able to play this unless I get, you know, the GameCube, either Japanese version or the GameCube with the action replay. Let me know down below if you remember that. The action replay, that's how I was able to play this. Let's see if I can put it back. Mirror mode. Fuck it. But anyway, that's cool. They showed that. What else? They actually showed Cyberpunk. They showed Elden Ring, Street Fighter 6, Street Fighter 6 Amiibos. And with the Elden Ring Tarnished Edition, there's actually new armors and whatnot, and things you can buy on there because they have to make up for it. Even though Cyberpunk, Street Fighter 6, and Elden Ring, these are going to be the inferior versions. It still looks good, you know. Don't get me wrong. I'm not bashing. This isn't a bashing video, but let's be real. PC at a monster PC, also PS5 Pro and the Series X. You know, those are the better versions. So while they are getting the inferior versions, it's still cool to see it being able to be ran on a Nintendo console. And the people who only have Nintendo consoles, who always want to play these games, now they get the experiences. So I think that's cool. So overall, as a gamer, they're winning. Man, and what is it? Duskblood or Duskborn? That shocked the whole internet. That is an exclusive at that. That was a big win right there. That was a big win. But I heard it's what? PvPVE? That's what I heard. But so basically, I don't think it's going to be like the good old traditional story-based type Soul game. I hope it's not PvP, man. Those Souls games are not designed for PvP, really. They're not. I'm sorry. They're not. And they're not designed for the platforming. There's a lot of platforming and jumping you got to do in them damn Souls games. It's just not designed for that. So anyway, I thought that was cool. The Mario Kart World, that looks fun. It does. I'm a big fan of Mario Kart, man. I've been playing since Mario Kart 1. I love the Mario Kart series. I'm not going to sit here and lie in front and act tough, man. I ain't playing no Mario Kart. I'm a grown-ass man. No, it's fun. It's cool. However, that's the only thing Mario I play. I don't play nothing else Mario. I will play the old schools. Mario, 1, 2, 3, Super Mario World. Arguably, that is 64. Someone said was the best Mario's ever. Super Mario World and Mario 64. But anyway, yeah, so the Mario Kart, the Metroid Prime 4 looks so good. I've been waiting for that for 8,000 years. Finally, I can't wait for that. And it's cool. That's coming to the original Switch as well. So if you don't want to get the Switch 2, or if you can't afford it for whatever reason, or if you just want to wait, you don't have to, miss out on Metroid Prime 4. You can still get it. I'm getting that day one. I cannot wait for the Metroid Prime 4. And the Demon X Machina Part 2. Think about that, though. And I do have Part 1. A lot of you probably don't remember. I did the unboxing of the Collector's Edition of Part 1. I hope this one has a Collector's Edition as well. Matter of fact, right there. Him. Next to, I forget his name. Wolf, what? Anyway, this is motivated from Sekiro Shadow Die Twice. Right here. See, it's reversed and mirrored. But yeah, him. That's from Demon X Machina. And part 2 of that looks good. I was like, yes. I was glad to see these things, man, because when you're gonna buy a new console, you're gonna pay hundreds of dollars. You want to see games on there that's gonna make you want to buy the console. So I'm like, damn, even though that Duskblood game that doesn't come out to next year. I don't remember when Demon X Machina comes out, I think this year, but I was like, okay, Mario Kart World, Metroid, Demon X Machina. I'm like, okay, that's 3. And that's cool, the GameCube virtual console thing, but let's be real, like, we don't want new systems and we don't pay hundreds of dollars just to play old games. Even though I'm all good for class, I love my classic collections. I have the Mega Man Zero Classic Collection. I have the Mega Man X Classic Collection. I have the Sega Genesis Classic Collection. I have the Ninja Turtles Classic Collection. So I love my classic collection. So don't get it twisted. But still, I'm not gonna no. Anyway, so the bad thing though, I found out Demon X Machina Part 2 is coming to all platforms. So I'm like, not get on the Switch too. I'm not, because I'm sorry, you want, some of the best performance and versions of a game that you're going to spend your money on. So if I had a choice, yes, I'm going to either get on PS5 or the Series X. That's just what I'm going to do. So sorry, I'm not going to get that on the Switch Part 2. And it's just a lot of good things they were showing on there. Even though, again, I'm not going to get the Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong looked good. Donkey Kong looked good for what it is. I'm not going to get it, but it does look good. They announced the Kirby Air Ride 2. People were thinking they were going to show a new Smash. Come on now. No, even I knew they wasn't going to show a new Smash. But, yeah, the Mario Kart, it does look good. Mario Kart World. I seen, though, I think, you only do one lap, and then the next 2 laps is just to connect to the next world or area. Am I getting that wrong? I hope that's not the case, man, but I don't know. Maybe it's a way to play it without that. But by doing that, it's just like, damn, if you want to experience Mario Kart World without the exploration or the world aspect, then it'll just be like playing Mario Kart 8, a shinier, prettier Mario Kart 8. It'll feel like an expansion pack or upgrade. So on to the bad. Now, I noticed during the presentation, they didn't give a price for the games or the console itself. So, the console is $450. Some will say that's bad, some say that's not. Now, the original Switch was $300. So, to me, they're slapping on $150, of course, plus tax. For me, that's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not perfect, but it's not that bad. Then you have the bundle, the Mario Kart World bundle. It's like $500 plus tax, but it's cheaper to buy that. If you just get the Switch 2 solo dolo and then get the Mario Kart or any other game, it's gonna be more expensive. So if you're gonna get it, you might as well get the bundle. The other thing is the price of the games. Now this is the thing I'm gonna clear up. That was misinformation. People were they misunderstood it. That $90, it is not $90 for us in the West. That's 90 euros. So it's not $90. I can't tell you how many YouTubers have been just making videos about this. That's why you always wait. You know how some people wait when a new system come out? No, I'm going to wait. Sometimes these YouTubers, they need to wait. Or these journalists, they need to wait before they publish these articles or whatnot. And a lot of YouTubers, they do have followers and fans. They believe them like that. They just don't fact check them. I see Angry Joe, Gamer2323. They just immediately hopped online and seen, $90. And I get it. Even though it's still $80. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, 70 digital, 80 physical. And the thing with the physical, is it really physical? Is it really physical at this point? But this is the weird thing, though. Oh, real quick. The way I found out it wasn't 90, shout out to my homegirl, Red In for me. She's a video game journalist. I was talking to her, and she said, that was misinformation. It's not 90. I said, wait, what? And she said she researched it, and I went ahead and researched it. No offense to her. I'm not making it seem like I didn't believe her, but I wanted to do some more research, and it's not $90. So I was like, oof. That's good, but it's still some bullcrap, because what Nintendo is doing, they are gonna show the world that, hey, we can charge whatever we want to charge, and people are still gonna buy our shit. And other companies, they're gonna see it and they're gonna follow suit. I mean, they're gonna be like, oh, our games cost more to make. We got to put in more time, manpower, resources to make these games, and we offer more quality than these Nintendo games. So we're gonna raise our games to $80, because back when it was I think Generation 7 or 8, I think that's 360 era, PS3 era games for $50. Then bam, Xbox One, PS4, $50, and then $60. Then everybody, all the gamers, you start to see a trend like, Inflation is going to go up. It's going to cost more to make these games. Each new gaming generation is going to go up $10. So we're like, damn, 50, 60. I will never forget saying to my brother and cousin, like, man, can you imagine games being $70? Oh, man. I remember so many people saying, oh, I'm not going to game as much, and oh, I'm just going to quit gaming. Yeah, at best, you're not gaming as much, but some people, they didn't quit gaming. So now here we are, $70. And a lot of us, we were just get ready to bite the bullet and accept it. Like, yep, PlayStation 6, Xbox Nexus or whatever, and Nintendo Dolphin, if you know, you know. Nintendo Dolphin, yeah, it's going to go up to $80. So this is the thing, Nintendo, they just said, nah, bump it. Even though we're late to 4K, we're late to the old group chat thing. Even though we're late, we're going to slap $80 on our stuff. But this is what's weird. It seemed like it's only for premium games. And what I mean by premium, the high demand games that's more popular, games that's going to automatically sell more. Because the Donkey Kong, I think the Donkey Kong is 70 or 60. That's still crazy, 70 for the damn Donkey Kong. That's just crazy. But I think that's 70, but the Mario Kart is 80. Or the Donkey Kong is 60. Because I think the digital will be cheaper than the physical. So the digital for Mario Kart will be 70 and the physical will be 80. I believe that's how it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. So while the Donkey Kong is cheaper, it makes sense. Which one is going to sell more? Come on now, Donkey Kong or the Mario Kart? So just imagine Smash Brothers. I bet the next new Legend of Zelda, not the new Hyrule Warriors one that they showed, which looks cool by the way. Not that one. I'm talking about a full-fledged new Legend of Zelda. That's going to be a high premium price. And maybe, I wonder how Metroid is going to be. But again, it's cool for the people who don't want the Switch 2. They can still experience Metroid Prime 4 on the old Switch. But these prices, I'm like, what is going on? Like I said, they're probably thinking like, hey, we can do it. They're going to buy it. And by people buying it, it's just, unfortunately, it's going to show Nintendo like, yep, we can do this. And now, it also seems like the pre-orders have been delayed. Hey, some blame Trump. Not my words, but that's what I already saw. Some blame Trump. Hey, I'm not turning this into a political type of video or debate. But hey, Pete, let me know what you all think down below. Do you think the delay of Nintendo's Switch 2 is because of Trump? So, more on the bad. So, moving forward with the Switch 2, who knows if the price will drop or it will stay the same. I think and the Joy-Con, what, $90 for the Joy-Cons? Then you got $50 for the camera. God only knows how much the Pro Controller is. I forget how much the Pro Controller is. Oh, and that is a good thing. They did show a special GameCube controller. You know, they got the special C button and everything for it, you know, for the Pro Controller and the Joy-Cons and the GameCube controller, which is cool, but I don't know, man. It's like, damn. I do want the Switch 2. I do. Before the Switch 2 was announced, I said, yep, I'm going to get it. I've owned every Nintendo system. I've owned every PlayStation system. I've owned every Sega system except the Sega CD and the and the Sega 32X. So I never had the Sega 32X and the Sega CD. Some will argue that the Sega 32X isn't actually a system, but whatever. And I've had all the Xboxes, etc. So I've had them all. You know, I like Legend of Zelda, I like Smash Brothers, Star Fox, Mario Kart, Metroid. You know, and then any other exclusive that only come to Nintendo, I was like, man, I don't want to miss out. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to get the Switch 2. So yes, while I do want the Switch 2, I'm thinking like, man, but for just 2 games, like, damn, I mean, hopefully they have some good exclusive titles, man, that I'm going to just have to dig through the whole virtual store to find, because like, man, it's just, I hate to buy a system that it's just sitting there with me not playing it. But the PlayStation 5, PlayStations and Nintendo systems I get just strictly heavily for the exclusives only. Xbox, that's my all-around go-to everyday system. Like right now, my PS5, I have nothing but exclusives on there. We know exclusives are slowly dying. That's like really not a thing anymore. So, I got the Stellar Blade on there. I got the Star Ocean on there. I got all the Drake's Uncharted on there, etc. But I don't know, man. I may get it. People saying, just wait. The price will go down. Do you know how long you are going to be waiting But the time you wait for that price to go down, Nintendo, they take a long time to drop their prices. You better hope you find like a good deal. Maybe some store or Walmart do some kind of Christmas deal, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, whatever. Or you may catch a good deal on eBay. God only knows how the scalpers are going to be. Are you going to care still? Oh, this game is $80. I'm going to wait for the price to go down. Look how long it took for the price to drop from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Same thing with Legend of Zelda. You're gonna wait so long, and are you still gonna care? You're gonna either lose interest or you're gonna be playing other games. You're just not gonna care anymore, or that desire is gonna be so little. You're gonna be like, man, forget it. You're probably gonna forget that you're even waiting on the game for the price to drop. But I don't know, man. I'm still on the fence about it. So let me also say this for the ones complaining about the price. Is $450 really all that bad? Is it? I mean, like I said, first Switch $300. They're slapping on another $150. It's just gonna break the bank. From what I've been hearing and seeing, people are coming off as if man, they it's tight for them. I get it. It's hard out here. Inflation is up. Groceries high. Gas is high. Rent going up. Mortgage going up. Everything going up but the paycheck. When you do get a raise, I have so many jobs where I got raises, but they're just doing that to match the inflation. That's all it is. I remember my last job, man. I remember they gave us 4 raises. 4. Everybody. Oh yeah. Oh, one time they gave us a real big raise, and I'm like, this is cool, but something is up with this. First off, I'm like, y'all could have been gave us this raise, but not you are doing it now. So it's just to match everything else that's going up around here, man. I mean, I remember little mice were $2 at pet stores. Now, when I buy a mouse for my snake, yes, I have a snake. For the people are still surprised I have a snake. He's on all my socials. He's been in multiple videos. Damn. So when I buy a mouse for my snake, that motherfucker come to $6.88. I'm like, damn, I remember when these things were $2. It's still cheaper than dog food, though. But, yes, real quick, I have to throw in this honorable mention. Man, let's not forget the welcome tour for the Switch 2 you have to pay for. Yes, the tech demo. That is crazy. That is diabolical. Out of my whole entire life of gaming, I've never seen a company release a tech demo that you have to pay for. That, in itself, is some bullshit. Basically what I'm getting at, these prices, man, is it really going to kill you? Is it going to put you in an overdraft? Is it going to have you homeless? Is it going to have you on some struggle meals until your next check? Is it going to take a blow to your savings? Is it really going to kill you? Look at how much money you spent on things that you end up spending money on again and again and again. Look how many phones you've went through. Look how many TVs you've went through. Some of you went through multiple cars. Some of you go through this. Some of you go through that. Just money. The thing about it is that money, this is how I look at it. You can make it up. You can get it back. Maybe because, and I'm blessed and thankful. I come from money. My parents were very well off. So, and they worked hard for it, though. And I wasn't no, silver spoon fed child. I still had to, get a job and whatnot. But, I was always, I'm not going to say always, like every freaking second, but I was about my money, a lot of the times. Even when I was little, back in my day, bear with me now. So there was a time when the world was a better place. It was just a better place, man. The world, it was just safe and whatnot. I remember I was so glad when the seasons would change. I live in a state where I get all 4 seasons, so I just couldn't wait. When I would see the seasons change, to me that's money. I see the weeds coming up, I would knock on doors. Excuse me, get your weeds pulled. My brother, he offered to cut the grass. Snow. Can I shovel your snow? A fall. Can I rake your leaves? I was out there. I'll do it for $10, $5, $20. If I do the front, no, I'll make a deal. Front yard 10, backyard 10. I'm like, yes, got 20 months, and that's how I do. I will buy the games, buy this and that. So anyway, money will always be made up. All the tattoos on me, I have no bullshit, like easily over $2,000 on me. I have the chest, sleeves, everything, and I had people say, one time I got a tattoo, oh, you pay how much for that? Oh man, that seemed like a lot. First off, my artist, he broke down the whole tattoo thing. You're not just paying just for the tattoo. So, he's using brand new factory seal, untouched equipment and products. You're paying for the labor time, etc. It's cool, but it's a one-time thing that's gonna last forever. Yeah, I may need a little touch up on my thumb, but the point I'm making is that money is made up. People are acting like if they buy this, they're just gonna be super broke. Like y'all actually tripping over $70 or $80 or $450. That's gonna destroy y'all. And if it does, I'm not shaming you. I'm not. What's a new term that's probably already out? I'm not money shaming you or life situation shaming you. But damn, and I get it. I already know what someone is gonna say, and I kind of get it. They're gonna say, "That's not the point, Ace. No one said they can't afford it. It's what you're spending your money on. We work hard for our money, so you want something that's worth it. You want the good value." I kind of agree. I get it. I do get it because, like I said, these Nintendo games and the hardware, it's the weakest. So to see them charge as much as PlayStation and Xbox stuff, when their hardware is superior to yours, I get it. It is looking like, no, you have no right to charge their prices and even more with the 80. I do get that. But like I said, at the same time, you either buy it or you don't, man. And if you do buy it, it's not gonna kill you. Like, say if I get that $500 bundle, and I'm not showing off, I'm not bragging. I never said I was stunting or balling. Man, for people who've met me in real life, even people who've talked to me on Discord, when I was a guest appearance on people's videos, etc. I'm not like that balling, stunting type of guy. Look, my ears aren't pierced. I don't have no diamond, nothing. None of that. I'm not balling. But damn it, I can't say. If I was buying that $500 bundle in that Metroid, I will still have stuff left over to pay my light bill, put gas in my car, pay my internet, phone bill, and food, and still have some left over. No bullshit. So that's why when I'm seeing these price tags, I'm like, damn, that is crazy, but yeah, I can still do that. But at the same time, I hate to do that. And I'm like, damn, this Mario Kart fun. Let me switch up and play this Metroid. After I Mario Karted out, then I beat the Metroid. You know, that's the dilemma. So that's where I'm at with it. So before I close this video out, let me leave you with this. Here's some food for thought. Now, keep in mind, yes, I'm a retro gamer. So again, back in my day, the prices for games, oh man, some of you either wasn't alive or you were just too young to even remember. There were sales papers. Some of you have seen them floating around recently. Some saying, no, those are Canadian prices. Those are. One guy told me that. I'm like, dude, look, I lived through that. How are you going to tell me? And I literally asked him, can you show me? Can you prove these are Canadian prices? Nothing. I lived through this. The price of Killer Instinct, the price of Mario 64, the price of Wave Race 64, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, those prices back then. So I remember when games went to $60. You know, oh my God, $60. Now they're $70. Oh my God, $70. The amount of replay value and the quality, even though I get it, some games are bad now. They're bad. I get it. But for the ones that are good, the amount of content we get and the quality and the fun we get, some will argue it's kind of worth it for some titles that come out today. Some. But back then, can you imagine paying $70, $80, $65 for a Super Nintendo game? I'm not talking about now. Some of you will be like, oh, I'll do that now. I'm not talking about all some retro collector stuff. No, I'm talking about back then. And I get it. People want to bring up the whole, adjustment for inflation. Well, this back then, so it kind of justified. No. I'm talking about back then where $65, man. Whew. Back when I think it was when Primal Rage came out. I will never forget. I wanted that game so bad. I asked my mom to get that for me for my birthday. She took me to Babbage's in Fairlane Mall in Dearborn, Michigan. She paid with it with the all-black Discover card. $60. I'll never forget that. Babbage's, what is that? Yeah, see, that's how I know. Yeah, all these youngsters are here. You know, Babbage's, that used to be the GameStop. Yeah, yep. Before there was a GameStop. See, a lot of you think it was just GameStop. It just popped up out of nowhere. No. It used to be Babbage's. Babbage's, then GameStop. Of course, there's EB Games. I think GameStop beat out EB Games, and they bought EB Games. There's the KB Toys. Some of you don't even remember KB Toys. I know on Gamer2323, his thoughts on the video, at some point he said, Chad, how old are you, man? I mean, maybe it might be time to just, go into some new hobbies and think of something. And I seen in the chat 24, 27, 21, 22. I'm like, God, these motherfuckers are young. And that's fine. I'm not age shaming. There's nothing wrong with being young, but the outlook on gaming, and if you're in your early 20s, mid 20s, the era you started in, where you were old enough to really understand what you were doing and to buy games, you missed out on some great times and some great eras. Especially, and I'm not talking about how you can just be like, oh, I can just go back and play. No. Living through the moments, those eras that was laying down a foundation, making history, paving the way for what some of the good games are today, is just, I'm so glad I was able to live through that. 1998, some will argue, was one of the greatest years of gaming ever. I will never ever forget it. But the point I'm making is, the reason why it hits harder now with these prices is because, look at me zoning off, just having just flashbacks. I have to catch myself. But the reason why is because back then, you all weren't paying for the games. Your mommy and daddy were, or your uncle, your auntie, your guardian, whoever you were staying with. They were paying for the games. So while you will see the price, you didn't care. All you wanted to, Mommy, I want this for Christmas. Mommy, I got a good report card. Mommy, I want this for my birthday. Allowance, can I get it? That's all you care about. Now that you were grown, yeah, shit hit different now. That's $70 now, like, ooh. Versus when you were a little kid, it hits different. But for me, it is what it is. So I've been thought about this years ago. Like, okay, game prices going up. Yeah, I remember when games, again, like Primal Rage, Panzer Dragoon Saga on the Sega Saturn, that shit was expensive. Stuff was expensive. So that's what made me want to grind even harder to where I could be able to afford these games, because I wanted these games. And my parents, they only bought me and my brother, like once they bought the Sega Genesis, that was it. I remember having the Atari. I remember Joust, Pac-Man. I remember the SNES, had the Sega, the regular NES. But after the Sega, that was it. Me and my brother was like, oh no, we're not going to go the rest of our lives without gaming. We started grinding, hustling, stacking. We bought the Super Nintendo, and we got ourselves every system moving forward ever since then. To this day, that's how it is. So, oh yeah, here's the Primal Rage right here. This is the one on Sega Saturn. This isn't the Super Nintendo one. Right here, I still have the game, the case, everything, the manual. So, this was like, just for a little bit, competition for Mortal Kombat. Just a little bit. My main character was my two mains were Talon and Vertigo. So yeah, let me know down below what you all think, man. I'm pretty sure, I'm not even gonna ask, are you gonna get the Switch too? I know a lot of you are. I'm gonna see the 3 responses. Probably gonna wait. I'm not gonna get it, or I am gonna get it. I might get it. I don't know. Again, I don't know, man. Getting it for 2 games, but I've been waiting years for this Metroid. Oh, and the last time I played Mario Kart was the original, like Mario Kart 8, not Deluxe. I refused to pay that price for Deluxe. I just refused, especially with a Skyward Sword. I never played Skyward Sword. I'm like, I know it's a remaster, but y'all put that price on it. So that's what I'm saying. All of you want to wait till these prices go down, you're going to be waiting a long, long time. I'm still waiting for that price to drop for that Skyward Sword, because for me, it's just not worth it at that price. So that's just me. But other than that, give me your thoughts, comments, and concerns. Thank you all so much for watching. Whew, man, shit is crazy. It's me, the Elite Ace, signing out.